one of the biggest trends in our industry is having cloud-based applications. So the application's based in the cloud. It can be accessed from multiple people in multiple locations, and that requires a mobile broadband connection for salespeople on the move and service people on the move.
Every time there has been an increase in the availability of bandwidth, major things have arisen that nobody foresaw. And that just underpins, I think, the argument that this is infrastructure investment. Yeah. The benefits that will flow from it can't all be foreseen. And therefore, if you're going to value the investment, you need to use what the economists are calling real option valuation, which takes into account the balance sheet value of the flexibility that you're given by having open to you the ability to do things that you can't necessarily foresee. The future world is very, very competitive. We need to be a knowledge-based economy, otherwise we can't sustain the quality of life that we've got. That is going to demand new services, new creativity, and that must depend on having a really reliable, ubiquitous, very high bandwidth broadband service.
Absolutely right, and one illustration of that is the contribution to GDP. The suppliers together, not just BT, contribute something like 2% to our GDP. That's really infrastructure, fundamentally. But business as a whole contributes 35%. And yet very often the focus of debate, certainly at the political level, is how the supply community can be encouraged and supported and become more competitive internationally. And the real level of competition is with the customers of the suppliers. It's that 35%.
Yep. So companies really do need to be open to the opportunities and aware of the dangers of not being open to the opportunities.
If you have high connectivity, you can maintain the security of your intellectual property and lease it. And that gives you the ability to generate wealth over an extended period of time from the invention. But it all needs bandwidth.
Yeah.
But it does beg the question of who, if this development and this infrastructure investment needs to be supported in some way, that BT and others can't be expected to necessarily do it themselves. At the moment, those subsidies are being pointed at either the media industry, like top slicing the BBC licence fee, or BT themselves through the fixed line, the Digital Britain suggestion. And when we're talking about wider business being the beneficiaries, so shouldn't the entire business world be prepared to, if a subsidy is needed, shouldn't we all be prepared to contribute?
Yes, absolutely. And I think also it needs to be considered alongside other infrastructure investments. I mean, it's not clear that you necessarily get the same economic benefit out of investment in rail, for example, as you would out of an investment in broadband. And to a degree, they are offering the same service, because if what you're doing by improving the broadband is meaning that people don't have to travel so much, then what you're doing is reducing the load on rail. So you need to take the bigger view in deciding where society is going to spend society's investment capital.